You know, we got this saying here in the TSK, that's a whole other topic for a whole other show. Well, guess what? Today is going to be that show. What's going down? It is another episode of Kicking It with the TSK. No, we're not doing a review. We're here to talk some rumors, if you will. But before we get into it, it is, of course, I am joined by members of the TSK. I am joined by yours truly, Robert Davis, and, of course, Daniel Crimmins, DC, one half of the tag team champions for Max Wrestling. And Rob is
longest reigning, mind you.
There you go. Longest reigning. Don't forget that part. Add the extra stank on it. And Rob is, if there is a Hall of Fame for promo people, it is definitely headlined with Robert Davis. Let's go with that one. But we're not here to talk our accomplishments on Max, even though we are on the MaxYouTube.com. You know what I mean? The whole nine right there. We're here to talk Kota Ibushi because the idea of him coming to AEW has been a thing we've been talking about for as long as he's been a free agent in the world of professional wrestling. The second he left New Japan, the only place we saw him... About a year. The only place we saw him going was to go hang out with his buddy, Kenneth Jerome Omega, down in All Elite Wrestling. And it looks like that time is here. Rumors stemming from Kate Side Seats, Fightful.com, even Uncle Dave have already speculated that he for sure will be a part of the Elite for Blood and Guts, and then more obviously leading within a month after that, leading into the Wembley show at All In. So, the question has it, will he debut prior to Blood and Guts?
See, this is something we've actually collectively talked about in our group. I know once we saw Takeshita debut and we got to see a couple of matches and we kind of got familiar with his style, a lot of us kind of agreed, just like, damn, this is like Ibushi Part 2.
Part 2, for sure.
I mean...
Ibushi Jr.
Everything was there. Like, he checked all the boxes off. And just as the weeks have gone by, the comparisons... are starting to become more apparent, and it's not just amongst our group anymore.
Right.
A lot of people in the IWC are starting to see the same thing.
Exactly. DC, what you got?
So, I will say this: like, I'm excited for it on multiple levels. Like I'm looking at even if you remember Kota's work that he did for the brief time he was with WWE in the Cruiserweight Classic, he did a match with Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
That was absolutely incredible. Like, seriously, it was a great match. And the idea that we could get that again...
True.
And really, with New Japan, what's left for him to do?
Well, considering that he's a free agent, he's got nothing left for them to do. But that's... I'm more thinking, are you guys thinking he's going to be like this? Like how Rob was leaning into, are we thinking he's randomly going to be is he going to pull I have to go with this one, the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania, just, hey, look at this guy that's coming out. Is he going to randomly save Kenny after a beatdown, next week on Dynamite? Does he show up prior to the show in any capacity? Hopefully they don't save him for Collision.
What I think they're going to do is I think it's going to be a closing segment where they're going to have they challenged Blood and Guts yet? Has that?
Yeah, that's already been a thing.
That's already been established.
So you could easily do a segment where they say Blackpool Combat Club says, hey, you don't have, it's just the three of you. You don't have anybody else. Nobody wants anything to do with you. Sure. And you could pull a line and say, well, there is that one person, and the show ends with just Ibushi just coming out, top of the ramp, and just staring down Blackpool Combat Club.
I could like that giant pop.
And if not Ibushi, really, then who?
We're going to get into speculations of other people considering all the injuries, but we're going to get into that in a minute. Rob, what do you think? Are we thinking Dynamite? Are we thinking Rampage? Heaven forbidden Collision?
I'm kind of leaning towards Dynamite. They're just going to save all the suspense till to the very last minute. Like,
closing show.
The Elite will come out and do their, carry on, Wayward Son, Don't You Cry No More. And then, they'll walk down to the bottom of the ramp, and then Ibushi's music will hit. And that'll be kind of like the grand finale of all the speculation and all this talk of Ibushi coming for the last couple of weeks, months.
months, almost a year, even if not a year at this point.
Well, I think if you really want to take it back, like they were talking about him going to AEW in the very beginning.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Like when there was when there was that nonsense going with him and Gato, like everyone was saying, he's gone. Like he's going to, it never was going to happen. But the E that Pop H was going to, because he wanted him bad the last time.
He did.
That's true, and that was when Kota was refusing to move to the United States.
And now he's thinking,
he helped Cedric Alexander get a job.
This is true.
I mean, to be fair, going to the E has worked out so well for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hey, the surf is great, and he makes a lot of money. So true. I mean, and that's as I started the show, that's a total different topic for a different day. But we've said that exact thing. The E at this point is a place you go to go make your money and go take an easy schedule and hang out with your family and do the thing. I mean, it's not that you don't love wrestling. It's time to make you some money. It's time to make you a net worth, is what it is.
Just ask Carl Anderson.
Hey, exactly. He's making a bunch of money doing squat jack nothing. Hey, right.
Living that life.
That he is. Him and his hot Asian wife. But I do want to get into more Kota, but that's where, like, because we're Blood and Guts is where we're headed, and right now Blood and Guts is looking like, what are we gonna do? Because we had the injury to Bryan Danielson, and now he's out. Obviously, he's got a broken forearm. There's no way he's going to compete. Wheeler Yuta got hurt. They were afraid he had, I believe, a hamstring tear. It's not a tear. He's going to be able to compete, so he'll be fine. But
partial tear. But nonetheless, he's still clear.
That doesn't make it any better.
It doesn't.
What you could do, you could build off the whole Don Callis thing. You could have, Don Callis in the match just as kind of like the sleazy kind of guy where, Kenny just wants to get his hands on Don.
True.
You could do that. You could have him bring in a hired gun. You could have William Ospreay.
Well, see, that was going to be my actual question. Blood and Guts is a 4-on-4, right? That was the whole thing of War Games. It was 4-on-4, right?
Yeah, this one's 5-on-5.
Oh, see, then that's where all the questions, raise themselves.
Yeah, because the Elite needs somebody, and now BCC needs somebody.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I think that'll probably just lead into the finish. I was already fantasy booking in my own mind about Dark Order and Hangman and all this and that, but I feel like maybe then again, Kenny's going to have to be a part of it, and if it's going to be
Kenny's already part of it.
So Kenny the Bucks, Hangman, and then Kota. So there's your team there. Yeah.
That's the Elite.
So then the question arises: who from the BCC what kind of a hired gun could you get? I mean, Will Ospreay is a great choice considering the fact that he just built this lovely alliance with Don Callis. But is he available?
There's Shooter.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
What I'm gonna lean into, and I've already leaned into this, and I'm sticking to it until the match starts. Mm-hmm. Chris Hero, he was already there. He was already trying out.
Please.
I mean, he's got history with Claudio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why not? It makes sense.
But is he in shape?
Yeah,
because he hasn't.
He's been in shape.
He hasn't done high profile stuff in a minute.
No, he hasn't, but he's still ready to go.
But and then also understand, for those of you who are confused on the Chris Hero, that's the guy that you would also know as Cassius Ohno back in his NXT days. Yes, the guy that got randomly fat. That it is a medical condition. What is it again?
I forget the specific name.
I think it's a thyroid issue, isn't it?
It is a thyroid issue.
Thank you. So
hyperthyroidism, I think.
All I know is he's got a gut that's bigger than Kevin Owens and is 10 times as athletic. And Kevin Owens is hell of athletic for a fat guy. So, come on.
Fluffy guy.
Know what I mean?
Fluffy.
Love the guy. Love them all. But no, I you know what? I love the idea of Chris Hero. I really do think that would be a shock to the system, for lack of better words. I mean, I'm not...
Fish.
There you go. I mean, whoa. I don't know about Bob the Fish. I don't know. But I don't know. See, then that's the thing. You can go 100. I wouldn't say actually 100 different ways, but there's a handful for sure of different ways you can go of people that can turn around and come in here. For all we know, they can get one of Takeshita's friends from DDT. For all we know, you know what I mean. Considering the style of match that they're doing, for all we know, they could literally just be spitballing, throwing in, bringing in random people. But we won't know till we get there. All I am is excited, but with that, I want to go directly into, because I want to keep this momentum going, because I feel like we're flowing. Kota Ibushi, as soon as this match is done with, we're looking at All In. And I have already done the Golden Levers versus FTR in my head. I've done the Golden Levers versus any tag team there is. The Elite, Kenny, Kota, and the Bucks against whether the Golden Elite versus any four man. You know what I mean? You could go a plethora of multi-man matches you can do, but in a singles capacity. That's where I'm more intrigued, because Kota Ibushi is one of those guys where he puts on banger after banger after banger on a daily basis with just one-on-one competition against almost anybody.
I got it. Sammy Guevara.
Wow. Talk about giving a guy a rub.
Because think about it, not only because Sammy can do that. He can do the fast. He can do he's getting better with the technical. He's getting better with that. Think of what to borrow a phrase from the E, you always hear Finn Balor talk about the Finn rub, right?
Right.
You'd have the Kota rub. The rub from working with somebody of that caliber.
I mean, it's something.
You can tell Tony has a hard-on for Sammy. Like, he wants to make him a huge star.
He sees something in him, that is for sure.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I will say this, of the pillars, I think Sammy has the greatest chance of winning a world title.
I am inclined to agree with you.
So, Sammy and Kota, I think, would be really entertaining.
I think, I mean, and it's kind of obvious at this point, if he does end up being a part of the Blood and Guts match, we probably need a singles match between Takeshita and Ibushi.
There we go. I
mean, it kind of writes itself. You got the good guy versus the bad guy. This whole spy versus spy dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You got the guy wearing white over here. That's the good guy. The guy wearing black over here. That's the bad guy.
Total shouts in the 90s.
It kind of writes itself. But there's that fan in me that kind of wants to see Kenneth and Ibushi go again.
See, now, and I'm glad that you bring that up, because that's exactly where I was leaning. Now, I don't think it would be one of those things where it's bitter rivals or whatever. It would be one of those, hey, do you want to do this one more time?
Yeah.
And it would just be a hype match, and just one where, it's two buddies that are going to go out there and they're going to give it their all, and it's going to be a banger that'll probably headline All In.
That, the last time they went out there with New Japan, I'm sure you remember that. They're just like, man, I just pray we don't kill each other.
Yeah, please. I mean, we just got Kenny back to 100%, and he literally just got dropped on his neck, or on his shoulder, but a week ago.
I mean, we just got Kota back too.
That's true.
He was down for a while.
He was down bad to the point where he wasn't even able to lift weights for a long time.
I mean, he couldn't even lift the little rinky-dink pink weight that weighs like 2 pounds.
It was bad.
That's rough.
We talk about Kota. I mean, I would love to see him and Buddy Murphy go again. They had a great match on NXT.
Yeah.
Absolute classic. Has he ever worked with Shibata?
Yes.
I think so.
Could do that again.
Yeah.
I think Kenny. I think Kota was a junior around that time.
Yeah, that sounds
do
right.
it again.
He's got a lot lot more muscle and weight to him.
I mean, we could fantasy book our ass off, and that's kind of where I'm hoping this ends up being. Right now, every dirt sheet writer, Uncle Dave hasn't said this, but almost everybody else but Uncle Dave has pretty much gone on to say that he's going to be there for the blood and guts match, and then that's it. But personally, and I think we all are in agreement with this, there's no way you're going to show up for that big high profile of a match and then not do all in. You know what I mean?
I mean, it would be money left on the table just to show up for one match and then just bounce again. To go do what? I mean, I know he's trying to get the school going and all that other stuff, but like...
What he may do, and I think from a business aspect, I think it makes the most sense. Use it as a bargaining chip, because everybody's going to be fucking watching Blood and Guts. Yeah. Triple H is going to be watching it. The Evil Khan is going to be watching it.
The Evil Khan, I like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
You're going to have so many people watching it, and they're going to see it, and they're going to want him. And if Kota can use that to, get more money, good for him.
I can agree with that, but I
make that money for however long you can.
I feel like if that was his mentality, he just would have stayed in Japan. He would stay signed to New Japan. He'd be a guy that helps put people over every now and again. Hell, maybe he'd be U.S. champ by now.
Or go to WWE and do the same. Do it Nakamura.
He even said he was still open to working with New Japan. I mean, even though they kind of did him a little dirty, he's just like, yeah. I mean, if the offer presented itself and they had the right deal for me, I'd sign with them again.
Well, I mean, DC, you're bringing up a hell of an argument. Now I feel like we need to spin this off into another little thing. Is Kota to WWE even a thought? Even say, give it a year in AEW, and let's be realistic here. I mean, if money is the main factor, let's think about it for a second. After a year in AEW, you do a blood and guts match, you put on a banger with Kenny, you have every match under the sun that you can have. Obviously you get fed Punk, you'll probably have to wrestle, you'll probably get a Sammy, you'll get a Pillars match, maybe a Darby, something, another crazy fucker or whatever.
A TNT title reign too.
Probably, who knows? After that, does the idea of him in WWE work for you? Do you think he would go chasing money for what he is been worked so hard to go back to? I mean, I know DC said that, but let me bring this one to you. You're Kota Ibushi now. You decided after a year with AEW, I'm going to go ahead and leave, and I'm going to chase the money. I'm going to go to WWE. I'm going to remake my name for myself. Vince McMahon hands you a lovely contract for $65,000 a year and says you're going to be our top NXT guy. Are you still going to WWE?
Absolutely not.
I mean, given their track record with Japanese talent, no.
That's what I'm afraid of. It's not one of these things where, I don't know what AJ got paid to go right to WWE, but if they wouldn't almost double that deal, there's no way Kota would even consider it. Because again, you have somebody who has and yes, I understand just how big and how quick of an impact AJ Styles had. He came in, he was maybe a year in New Japan before he beat the Great Okada and everybody else and all this other stuff, and then showed up at the Rumble. We're talking about Kota Ibushi, a guy that helped re-elevate the junior division, helped re-elevate the tag division with his buddy Kenny Omega, and was such a popular name in New Japan that the dude showed up for a freaking, 2-3 match tournament that he was in for the 205 Live or Cruiserweight Classic, whatever it was, and they still want him. But then you're going to get a shit deal like that. Like, unless it's like, hey, dude, we'll give you $1 million just to show up. You're going to be on Raw, whatever. We'll try to give you a push. That's the only way I consider that fucking deal. But knowing them, they're going to, you're not known to everybody. They're going to give him the Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa treatment and dog his ass for 7-8 years.
And, he'd probably get an IC or U.S. title reign in there somewhere.
Probably IC. That's it.
I mean,
and that's the thing, though. He doesn't really have 7 or 8 years because he's already 41.
See, he's got, honestly, I would say at best, maybe 5. Maybe.
And he looks 29, motherfucker.
I fucking hate him.
And that's the problem, and I will say is, with Kenny, with Kenny.
He's got all the abs.
How many
and then the side
years
ones.
does Kenny have left?
See, now
Good
that's
years.
and then that's another fantastic thing that you're bringing up as well. Kenny took we had it down to the months how long Kenny was out, and he was, I want to say it was over a year, dealing with the countless amount of injuries that he had dealt with. That definitely put a hindrance on his career limit. You know what I mean?
Kenny will be 40 in October, so
give Kenny 7 more years maximum.
that's probably max.
And then at that point, probably 4 years into that, you're going to have to do the Jericho treatment where you're just,
he's going to be working a part-time.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
One every 2 months, a Dynamite here, a Rampage there, but mainly pay-per-views.
And not just every pay-per-view, but like the special ones. Like you're all in, you know, your double or nothings, things like that.
Somewhere where you're obviously going to give somebody a rub.
Yeah.
I thought of another one. Kota versus MJF.
See, this is why I can't see him leaving.
No.
There is a roster full of talent in AEW. He could easily get... AEW is based in Florida, and it's backed by a guy that owns a fucking Premier League team with his dad owning an NFL team. If they can't get him a wrestling school in Florida, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean...
It's true.
I mean, maybe he'd turn out more... maybe he would tune out better talent than the Nightmare Factory.
I mean, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm not going to deny what you're saying right there.
You're not.
You know what
I
mean?
am.
But again, that's the thing. It's AEW knows what he wants. They're his style wrestling. They don't necessarily need him so bad that they have to give him the moon and push the living shit out of him. But if they do, it's different. And yes, there's going to be the immediate E-lovers that are going to shit on it. But again, now it's a different dynamic. Now it's not the obvious, it's got to go here, it's going to go... No, Kota is a whole new dynamic to the entire thing. I really do think he makes that big of an impact. One, in star power and stature, and as where he can carry himself and present himself and have matches with anybody, and... it continues to allow the idea that a Japanese star can come into America and succeed. Unlike our man who just likes catching waves. But then again, hey, Shinsuke's on the older side too. I'm not mad at him. Make your bread. Surf your waves.
Do it.
I mean, he's done okay. Not as good as he could have done, but he's done okay.
And there's always the thought if Kota does go to WWE, he's just going to be exclusive to WWE, which is fine. They still got a lot of really good talented people to work with.
That's true.
If he stays with AEW, not only does he have that roster, he can go to Japan and still work. He can go to AAA and work. Mm-hmm. Imagine if we get Vikingo and Ibushi at a Triple Mania or something. How balls to the wall would that be?
The other thing to that is, with WWE, let's say he does go there. They're going to want him to do house shows.
Absolutely.
And AEW really doesn't do them.
They do only where they know they can make some bread.
Not to the level.
Yeah, no, oh no, God, no. They're not doing them where they're going to your city and then this city. And they're not doing, 4 a month? No, they're not doing it.
And so... could he get to a point where, maybe, but really with WWE, who is there? That makes you excited to think, yeah, that would be good. I mean, AJ, yeah.
But besides maybe his counterparts from New Japan, and then, obviously Roman, you throw in Sammy,
maybe
Kevin, Gunther. I mean, once you get past your top stars or your stars of yesteryear from Japan, there's nothing for him, and he'll just fall into a lackluster state. And then, worst case scenario, he's going to get treated like Ali, and he's going to get sent back to NXT.
No,
hopefully with a decent paycheck.
They will have him jobbing out to Grayson Waller.
Oh, don't do that, Timmy. Don't do it. I'm getting ready to
You know
do
I'm
the
right.
same thing the UK
Tell
people
me
did
when
to
I am
him.
telling lies.
Call you a wanker.
Oh, fuck.
Call you a wanker. That's what I'm about to do. Oh my Lord Jesus! But again, Kota speculation has finally come to a head. It's been forever. We're happy that it's happening. The fucking parameters, the plethora, if you will, of just how big this can truly be is huge. The ability for him to shine for AEW, to shine for Ring of Honor, to go shine in AAA, go back to New Japan, go work DDT, wherever they decide to continue this going. Kota is a more than solid addition to this roster. I hope it's a long tenure. I see no wrong in this.
No.
And I'm foaming at the mouth. I'm foaming at the mouth. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see this kid. I want to see what kind of shape he's in. I want to see how, if he's decided to tone it down, is he still a crazy bastard? Because again, if he's going to be in blood and guts, he's jumping off of something.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Like, because you got to realize this is the first one without Sammy. I mean, who's going to do the big dive?
I was just going to say, I was like, yeah, who's doing the crazy shit? It's going to be Kota.
Kota, he did that moonsault in the Budokan and got banned from there.
Yes,
he's doing a moonsault off something.
He's doing a moonsault offside. Maybe Nick Jackson.
Maybe they'll just bring in Sammy just for a spot. You're not even in the match, but just go.
We need a spot guy. You do it, bub. I can see it already. Oh, my Lord. All right, well, see, again, this is the great thing about this. We wanted to come short. We wanted to come sweet. We just wanted to keep bringing you all the lovely stuff and let the minds speculate, let them melt to the reality that Kota Ibushi is soon to be all elite. So, with that being said, let's get on out of here. But before we do so, let's jump into some lovely plugs. Rob, what the deal is, I don't know what the riff thing was. It 100 riffs, 100 days? Are we not at 100 yet? Did we restart the counter?
No, we are, I think... We're going to be doing day 66 in a couple minutes.
Let's go.
So we're about a month out. But, check me out, Linktree/hey, it's Rob. We got this 100 riffs in 100 days going thing on Instagram and TikTok.
Beautiful.
Just kind of putting some stuff out there so you see what I'm doing. And what I may be doing in the next couple of months. Come check it out. Come say hi.
That's right. We're hoping to do a little collaboration with a bunch of us in the TSK doing some Fight Forever when we finally all get the game. But that'll be in due time. DC, come this Thursday. It is you. It is me defending our lovely tag team championships against the guys that I think we beat for them, which was Feeney and Daz. So this is going to be fun. What do you think? It's going to be easy money?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got it last time, pretty soundly.
Pretty soundly. We were in there like swimwear, bro, because the reality of the matter is trivia is my game. There's a lot going down, though, by the way, for out there. Fight for the knowledge, too. We got, I'm in there for King of the Mic Final, me and the man they call Beer. I'm actually pulling for that guy. If he's actually going to end up listening to this and knowing him, he will. I'm pulling for him, but then again, shooting is what I do best. So, with that being said, we're going to get up on out of here. The next time you'll see us will hopefully be a fantasy thing for All In. If not, worst case scenario, we're coming at you with a review of All In. And so all that fun stuff. And of course, make sure you're checking out youtube.com/Max Wrestling. Fight for the Knowledge comes Thursday. I'll appreciate y'all stopping by. Too sweet and boys. Let's get on out of here.